business owner? Entrepreneur? Want to learn how online marketing can improve your business?
Your questions.
Our advice.
This is Not a Real Job.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Not a Real Job, the podcast that helps you turn the things you love into things that make you money. I am Chris Van Patten, and I make websites and web apps in the great state of New York.
And I'm Joel Kelly, and I do marketing stuff up in Canada, where it's cold and rainy today.
Cool. How did you like my intro? I felt really good about that. I've been prepping that all day.
Here's the ish. Chris, can I call you Christopher?
Well, I'll allow it just this once.
Here's the ish, Christopher. I was thinking about what I was going to say while you were talking.
Okay.
So I didn't hear it. Run it by me one more time.
Okay. Here we go. Welcome to Not a Real Job, the podcast that helps you turn the things you love into things that make you money. I am Chris Van Patten, and I make websites from the great state of New York.
Is that seriously what you said?
That is exactly what I said.
Oh, that's good. Good job.
Awesome. Thank you.
I feel good about that. My volume's a little low. Hopefully, that's fine. Anyway,
better low than high.
What have you been up to this week? I feel like we haven't talked in what must be days.
Yeah, I mean, we talked Friday, but like other than that, you know, it's cool. It's whatever.
What did we talk about on Friday?
Maybe it was Thursday. I don't know. We talked about Toronto,
but not on the phone.
No,
I couldn't hear your voice.
No, that's true. And I think my voice just brings something to the table that is just, you can't pinpoint it.
You know what the weirdest thing about Yosemite is, Chris?
What?
That holding shift and then hitting the volume button used to silence the noise it would make.
Oh, it's off by default now.
Now it makes the noise.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to get used to that? Tell me.
I don't know, because I have always had my sound disabled by default. So I guess when I upgrade to Yosemite, I'm just going to be used to it. If I upgrade.
I don't know. I was used to hitting shift, and now shift makes a noise.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Start off a whole situation, Christopher.
Sure. So I've been busy. Just launched 3 huge websites last week.
God, you sure did. Those websites are fucking sweet, by the way.
Thank you. I didn't do the design, but everything other than that we did. So I'm super proud of those. Like 50,000 posts between 3 sites, which is just a.
You should be. You should be super proud. It's incredible. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll have links in the show notes, I assume.
Maybe. I don't know. I definitely check out my Twitter. I've put the things up there. But that's been good, and I'm glad that that's over, because I'm like ready for rest now. I haven't had rest in a while.
What's your plan? How are you going to decompress? How are you going to de-work?
In fairness, the next week and a half, 2 weeks will be with a lot more work. All the other stuff that I wasn't doing while I was working on these projects. But hopefully by the time that I'm up in Toronto, I will just be able to kind of chill out for a little while.
Oh, you're going to be in Toronto too. I'm going to be there.
Yeah,
we should try to meet up.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Yeah, another live episode of sorts.
Yeah, we got to stop saying live episode.
They're live for us.
Yeah, but I mean, aren't they always live for us? We're recording this. We're recording this in real time. It's not as if you record your half and then I record mine. But holy shit, wouldn't that be amazing?
Amazing is one word for it.
You record a whole track, and I have to fucking ad lib the other side of that combo. Let's do this. This is a podcast first.
Let's not do this.
What are you drinking?
Water. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking it's probably at least 80% water.
Okay.
It's vodka and soda.
Okay.
I had a bunch of them too.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this what number are we on?
I'm a little drunk, but don't tell anyone.
Keep it to yourselves.
Yep. Keep it to yourselves. I mean, no bigs. It's not like tomorrow's a big day. It's not like I have my 2-year annual review at my company tomorrow. Oh, wait, the other thing.
Yeah.
I have it.
I mean, in fairness, it is a holiday today. It is sleep an extra hour day.
It's a holiday?
Yeah, sleep an extra hour day.
Oh, but I already burned through that hour.
Oh, well then.
I drank through it.
Tough luck for you.
Yeah, I goofed.
Oh, well.
I goofed pretty hard.
You done goofed.
I've been playing my PlayStation 4 quite a bit. I'm liking it so far. I've been playing have you heard of this game? It's called The Destiny.
Okay.
I think it's called like The Destiny Adventures by Halo.
Okay.
And it's okay. I've been playing. It's a massively multiplayer online game, but I've been playing it solo, which is only okay. It's not. It's not how it was meant to be experienced, because some of the missions are pretty gosh darn repetitive if you're only playing it by yourself. But I mean, that's no bigs. What did you go as Halloween as?
What did I go as Halloween as?
You heard me.
Okay. I was a minimalist Harry Potter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isn't that just what you look like?
Well, that's kind of why it was easy.
Oh, I see. What did you change?
Did
you draw a scar on your forehead?
No, I tried and I couldn't get my pen to work. So
You tried it with a pen.
I did, yeah.
That was your whole plan, was a pen.
Well, yes, it sort of fell apart. Which is why I was a minimalist Harry Potter.
Yeah, it sounds like it was never gonna work. All right.
I tried.
Did you though? It sounds like you didn't that much.
What about yourself?
Me and Leah went as Bob and Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers.
Sure.
I think we killed it.
I don't know what that is, but...
Bob's Burgers is like the greatest show on TV. It's the next Simpsons, but you haven't seen The Simpsons either. But imagine a cultural icon of an animated TV series. Imagine the follow-up to that. Like someone who like takes all that history and that legacy and decides, you know what? What's the next step here? What do we do next in animated comedy? And that's what Bob's Burgers is.
Okay. Now, is that why your face looks so strange?
Yeah, I fucked up my face. I shaved my beard off for the first time in at least 2 years. And dyed my mustache darker.
And it looks a little creepy.
It's super creepy. I didn't care for it. I kept the mustache for a good almost 48 hours.
Wow.
Just see what happens. Play around with it. Wasn't working, so I shaved that off. So now I'm basically clean shaven. So I look like a fucking monster.
Awesome.
I look like what's his face from Heavenly Bones.
I don't think I know what that is.
Stanley Tucci.
What is that?
You not seen that movie?
What movie is this?
Isn't it Heavenly Bones? What's that?
I think you're conflating two Peter Jackson films here.
The Heavenly Creature Bones. Lovely Bones.
Heavenly Creatures and The Lovely Bones.
Aren't they the same movie?
Not quite.
Kate Winslet.
No.
Gets captured by Stanley Tucci.
No.
And is held in a crazy world of her imagination underground.
Still not. No.
Where orcs are.
No. Now we're bringing more in there. Let's take a step back. We've got a question. Let's get to the question.
I feel like you're avoiding my path of conversation, Christopher.
I often do.
All right, well, let's get into it. Let's do whatever you want to do. Well, that's all we do here, Chris, is whatever Chris wants to do.
I just want to help people. Is that so wrong?
Yeah, it is. Why can't you ever help me?
Could be because you're beyond help.
Beyond help. That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So we were sort of spinning our wheels before this episode, not sure what to talk about. And under the wire, Lindsay, our fine...
I feel like we're doing a pretty good job filling the time.
We're doing okay.
I'm going to drink more.
Okay. Lindsay, at the last second, sent us an email with a question in it, which was awesome. Perfect timing, Lindsay.
Thank you, Lindsay.
And here it is. I just started working on 2 new projects, a writing project and a new podcast/site, and I have a lot of motivation to work on them right now. Is it best to harness that and get as much done with that energy as possible, or is it better to pace myself so I don't burn out quickly? And then a follow-up to that, building off of that, how do you stay consistently motivated to work on something once it's underway? And that is from Lindsay.
Oh, Jesus. Are we even qualified to talk about that? I mean, we have been doing this for goddamn ever. Lindsay, though, oh, man, her Patreon, I can't keep up with all the content she's making. Do you contribute to Lindsay's Patreon?
I don't, but I guess I probably should.
Awkward. I thought that was going to have a different answer, but now
I know. Well, listen, I pay for the
services she provides you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess we should call you super generous for paying your bills.
Who invited you onto this show?
I thought I was meeting you halfway generosity wise by contributing to her Patreon, but I guess I'm the only one doing this. Okay, well that's fine. Whatever.
I will rectify that.
Okay. You just want to make a joint Patreon account like Joel and Chris, and then the money will come from both of us, like signing someone else's card.
No, we're not going to do that.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's answer the last question first because it's the only part of the question I remember because again, kind of drunk. How do you stick with a project? You got to make it intrinsic. It's a difference between intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation being things like money or people like applauding you or, some sort of motivation outside of the project itself. You got to forget about that if you're going to stick with a project long term. You have to enjoy it. It has to fulfill you in some way. I mean, that's why like Chris and I do this podcast that no one listens to and we're losing. We're just hemorrhaging money making this thing. But we do it because we both think that I'm really funny. And it's worth spending 40 minutes together each week just to see what kind of crazy stuff I'm going to come up with. See? See? I mean, that's my case in point right there.
Point proven.
Yeah. But seriously, I think that you gotta stick with projects that you find personally fulfilling, that you find personally satisfying, and then it won't be a question of how you stick with them because you want to do it. I mean, like the writing that I'm working on right now, I don't know if this book is going to be successful, but it doesn't matter because I've enjoyed doing it. It challenges me. And that's what I'd say. Like, and if you don't find your project intrinsically motivating and it's not extrinsically motivating, then move on to something that is one of those two things. That's my suggestion. I mean, this gets back to our question from last week about, how to know when to stick with a project or leave a project. What in 10 years are you going to say, yeah, that was worth it? Even if I didn't make a fortune off of it, I'm glad I did it. Weed out those projects that you're going to think in 10 years, well, that was a waste of time.
Yeah. I've got nothing to add to that. I thought that was a great answer.
Thank you.
Even under the circumstances.
What are the circumstances?
Vodka sodas.
Oh, man. So many of them. So my Soda Stream. I'm a fan of my Soda Stream.
No, but I do now.
Well, we've talked about it before.
I don't really remember.
I got a second CO2 canister, so I've always got a backup. And I've got 2 of the jugs that holds the water. So now I've always got it, at least 2 liters of carbonated soda on me at all times. Just, oof. It's my whole jam.
Ready to be mixed with vodka.
I love soda water. But it's not even just vodka. I just love carbonated water. It's instead of coffee most mornings, I have a glass of soda water.
That's bizarre to me because I hate carbonated beverages.
Dude, me too. The first time I was in England, they're like, do you want still water or sparkling? I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, obviously still water. Sparkling water is gross. Turns out it's an acquired taste. And once you acquire it, it's your whole life. It's what I get out of bed in the morning just to have more sparkling water. You gotta get off this. You have to get off the store-bought shit. The store-bought stuff has salt in it, which salt water's gross. Everyone knows that. Why would carbonating seawater make it better? It doesn't. Sorry, what were we talking about?
Well, we were just talking about soda water.
Did I win? Did I win the argument?
I don't know if there was one. Was there?
The answer was yes.
Sure. All right. So I've got nothing to add to that part of the question. But the other part of the question, when you start up a new project and have all of that energy that should you use all that energy try to space it out?
Right.
I tend to be an advocate of if you've got nothing else to use that energy on, then absolutely dive in. Just try to use it in the most productive way possible. Mm-hmm. So maybe plan for the fact that you're going to do like a weekend long bender on this project and go crazy. Instead of maybe you should use that time to I
advocate weekend long benders of any sort.
Absolutely. We whenever possible. But I would say, if you're working on a podcast project, then maybe record 5 episodes. So, hey, if next week you're not feeling too great and the week after, you've got something else going on, at least you used all that energy in a way that's going to keep the project going until you're able to get that energy back. Does that make sense?
It makes so much sense, but I'm battling this voice in my head that says maybe just because this is what we find most natural, it's not the right way. I absolutely, like, you have this motivation. You can go on a week-long bender of productivity, but should you not? And I mean, like, my response is similar to yours of like, of course, do it, capture it, make it productive. But maybe there is another way. I mean, Hemingway talks about in your writing that you should always stop when you know what the next scene is, when you know what the next thing to write is. You shouldn't empty the well all the way. You need to leave a little bit so the well can refill. And I think that maybe if you can muster that self-control, maybe that is something you could do. But I mean, I can't speak from experience, because I'm absolutely that. If I am motivated in any way, I'm going to burn through it all at once.
And in fairness, if you're a longtime listener of the show, there have been some episodes, I think, within this year where both of us are just giving a lot of attention to the burnout that we go through. So maybe we're just completely wrong. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm a no half measures person. I mean, I physically can't do anything half-assed. It's either all the way or not at all. So I would honestly, Lindsay, like, let us know, like, try it the other way. Let us know what the possibilities are for maybe, like, slowly, using up the energy you have over time. I'd love to know if that's a better way. I've just never been able to do it.
Yeah. And I think it depends on the way that you work. So I think you might have a sense now of, what's going to be best for you based on past projects, right? So like something that I've noticed about you in particular, in seeing the things you tweet, like, new videos and whatnot, it's pretty clear that you're very good at consistently producing content, or consistently producing, period. Whereas, with the exception of this podcast, I mean, I certainly don't blog as much as I wish I did. Yeah. I don't, do other pursuits. I don't meditate as much as I wish I did. I don't, eat healthy as much as I wish I did. But it seems like you are very good at developing routines and developing projects that you consistently keep at. So maybe that's, I think you need to have that internal understanding of how you operate, and play to your strengths.
Yeah, I think this is
helpful.
This is absolutely a question where I am super unqualified to advise, other than to say what the danger is. Like, my personality, I'm either writing or I'm not. I'm never writing a little. I'm either reading a book or I'm not reading anything. I'm either gaining weight or I'm losing weight. I'm never plateauing. Like, my personality is one of extremes, and I don't think it's healthy, and I'd certainly rather not do it this way. But I would love to know what the alternatives are, and I would love for people to write in. Like, let us know what are your secrets for being productive over time versus productive in bursts, since that's certainly an issue that I deal with is just being productive in short periods of time, very productive in short periods of time. And I'd be curious to know whether the output is the same. If we were to average it, are we all producing the same amount, just in different bursts? Or are people who are able to maybe take things a little slower, are they more productive overall? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, to speak for myself a little bit, I mean, I do think that I fall into the more productive in short sprints kind of thing. But I also find that to sort of complement that, I do try to maintain some kind of routine every day, just literally waking up, going to the coffee shop, staying there for a couple hours, going home. So even if I think, I am more productive in these shorter work sessions, that's in the context of structure elsewhere. So I don't know. I think it's different for every person. I think if you find something that works for you, then man, you need to run with it. But I don't think one is necessarily better than the other.
Yeah.
That's how I would respond to that.
I certainly hope not. I hope I'm not doing it the worst way.
Well, I mean, Joel, I think for you, it's safe to assume. No?
What?
Never mind.
Did you have something to say, or? Sorry,
No.
you just drifted off there. I didn't know if you were trying to communicate an idea, or if you were just trying to kind of bait me into getting upset with you. And frankly, Chris, I don't like that. I don't like how adversarial you've become over the years.
Have I?
Yeah, that's the narrative I'm weaving right now, is where you're the villain.
Sure, that's the main takeaway. Yeah, I mean, I love that we have this sort of alternate plot line to our show.
Well, I mean, we've done roughly 300 episodes of this show. I mean, who could say what the exact count is? And I feel like over time,
too many.
Yeah, I feel like over time I've become the victim, and you've certainly become the villain.
It's interesting because I usually feel the opposite.
You think I'm attacking you?
Not explicitly.
Just because of your dumb face and your stupid words.
Just something like that. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
I think getting close.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we got plenty of episode left here. What should we cover now? As always, let us know. Like, did we goof? Give us better ideas. Like, let us know. I had a call with my editor on Tuesday, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's super intimidating is so the book that I've written, it's written with the protagonist is a female, and I am extremely sensitive to the idea that I have completely got the female experience wrong, and maybe I shouldn't have even attempted a different gender, or maybe I'm not qualified to write this. So my editor has literally written the book on gender and sexuality. She wrote a book called Gender and Sexuality for Beginners.
Huh.
Yeah. So how terrifying do you think that is, to have your book in the hands of someone who could not be possibly more qualified for ripping it apart?
Well, I think maybe terrifying, but also incredibly fortunate.
Right. I know I'm not going to release something completely insensitive, but also super.
Whereas
terrifying.
Otherwise, I think you almost definitely would.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not a clever man. I'm sure I've made some gross mistakes in this, but it's still kind of scary.
Made a lot of
to
gross
think
mistakes in general.
Just in general, all my mistakes are gross in a way.
Mm-hmm. But was the call positive?
It was amazing. She's terrific. Yeah, I'll put a link in the show notes to her book. I ordered it. It hasn't arrived yet. I'd love to read it. Yeah, we'll put a link in the show notes to that. But yeah, I mean, the call was amazing. She sounds terrific, and I think it's going to be great. But it's I don't know. Part of me wished that my editor would suck. you know, you want the person who's not evaluating work, but you know, helping you along to not be what's the word I'm going for? You know, not a million times smarter than you. Maybe just like 2 times smarter.
Sure. More or less intimidating level of smartness.
Yeah.
Are you saying you have a problem with smart women, Joel? Is that what you're telling us?
No, I have a problem with people smarter than me.
Just in general?
Which is most people. That's why I really like people who are smarter than me, but I'm obviously consistently intimidated by them.
Mm-hmm.
No, it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman.
You can keep saying that, Joel.
But it's not playing as it's sincere.
No, I mean, listen, I'm just planting the seed. I want our listeners to let that seed be nurtured and grow.
Okay. So you are positioning yourself now as the villain and myself as the victim.
No, I'm you are the villain. You hate smart women.
Because I hate smart women. Okay. Yeah.
I just turned the tables.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue about that. I mean, yeah. If you're going to paint me as a misogynist, and well, you know how pro Gamergate I am.
Well, I think after last episode, it's clear that we both
everyone knows that
we care so much about ethics in games journalism.
That's all we care about. It's literally all we care about is ethics in games journalism. It's not a big deal. What's wrong with everyone?
What's wrong with ethics?
What's wrong with women? Why do they hate our video games, Chris?
I don't know.
Is it because of all the misogyny in them?
I don't play video games, so I'm not really qualified.
I play a lot of video games, and I am 100% qualified to say that there's a shit ton of awkward violence against women in video games. So,
you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. Anyway,
well, this has been our stupid show.
Has it been our stupid show? Are we done?
Almost. I mean, we've got our Amazon section of the show to get through.
Do you want to start keeping our house?
I don't know what that means.
It means we're going to do the housekeeping section.
Oh.
I always was implying that we live together.
That's sure. Yes, this is housekeeping, but it starts with our favorite gear of the week. This is the part of the show where we share stuff that we have bought recently and love that you can also buy. And if you do buy it by going to the show notes for this episode or our website at notarealjob.com/gear, you can buy those items as well. And if you buy through those links, it supports the show, gives us pocket change, I think is the best way to describe the amount that we're going to get, but it's still better than nothing.
Why'd you say it in a weird way?
What weird way?
You said pocket change.
It's just fun to say, isn't it? Pocket change.
All right.
Anyway, what are you putting in the store this week?
Oh, I'm going first. You know what? Let's do Gender and Sexuality for Beginners by Jamie Garbisic.
Awesome.
Yeah. So she's currently doing a developmental edit of my book, helping me with the structure and trying to figure out how bad I goofed. So yeah, let's do her book.
Excellent.
Yeah, check it out. If you like me, feel like you're constantly goofing on what's appropriate, what isn't, and what you know about sexual orientation and the categories and equality in society, then maybe this book is for you.
Cool.
What about you?
I am going to put in candy.
Ooh,
literally. The Take 5 candy bar is the greatest candy bar in the history of the universe. And generally speaking, they're very hard to find. They're really only sold in stores one time a year, and that time of year is Halloween. But even then...
Is this the one that has pretzels in it?
Yes, it's the greatest candy bar ever.
Oh, man.
So they're really hard to find, but you can actually buy them year-round on Amazon, and the price is very good. So, yes, I have a subscribe and save on these candy bars.
You do not.
I absolutely do. But these candy bars are the Take 5. And the Take 5 consists of 5 elements. I'm going to run down the list now.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate,
mm-hmm.
peanut butter,
mm-hmm.
caramel,
mm-hmm.
pretzels, and peanuts.
I don't like pretzels.
So you get 5 of these glorious flavors. You get the sweetness of the chocolate and the caramel and the peanut butter. You get the crunchiness of the peanut and the crunchiness of the pretzel, but also the savory, salty texture of the pretzel. And it melts in your mouth and it's glorious. And it is the greatest candy bar ever created. They're hard to find unless you go to Amazon. And that is why I'm going to put those in the store.
Okay, a question. Do you like hard pretzels outside of the Take 5 bar?
Yeah.
Ugh, okay.
Oh, they're great. You pretzels with hummus. Pretzels with peanut butter.
What?
It's Nutella. Pretzels and Nutella are glorious.
That's disgusting.
Oh, man, I love pretzels.
All right, well.
Hummus. Pretzels and hummus. Did I mention that? Oh,
just
glorious.
Use a spoon like the rest of us.
You eat hummus with a spoon?
Well, of course.
That's weird.
Why?
Hummus is a dip. Hummus is not a meal unto itself.
Hummus is a food. If soup can be a food, then hummus can be a food.
I'm not convinced, but I guess you probably have more experience being a person of vegan orientation.
I thought you were going to say fat person, so thank you for being a disgusting idiot.
You're just big boned.
Aw, thank you. My bones are so flappy, but otherwise... Good. All right. Well, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
You're clearly about to get arrested, judging by the sirens that Steve is going to take out anyway. But just trust me, listeners. Chris is on his moped, trying to outrun the police.
As I often do. All right. You can find us on Twitter at NarjCast, NARJcast, or at Chris Van Patten and at Joel Kelly. Of course, if you would like, you can go to our website, notarealjob.com, which also has those Twitter links. And also our Facebook page, facebook.com/notarealjob. We're also up on YouTube, youtube.com/notarealjob, I believe, maybe /NarjCast. If one looks wrong, it's probably the other. And we also put our episodes up there so you can share them with your friends really easily, get the nice YouTube player. And you can also jump around. We've got little annotations that let you jump between segments of the show. So that's really cool. Check that out. Again, if you want to buy stuff that we like, notarealjob.com/gear is going to be the place to do that. And I think, iTunes, of course, please check us out on iTunes. Notarealjob.com/iTunes will redirect you into the iTunes store, where if you are a listener of the show, you can also give us a review, and we really appreciate that. I didn't check this week, but please do that. It really means the world, and it gets more people listening to the show. So
also send us in photos of your Halloween costumes, because that's something I care about. And also, I'm going to, if I get to the post office this week, I might set us up with a P.O. box.
Awesome.
Well, should I do that, or should... because that requires people to mail things to Canada.
I mean...
at least we didn't figure this out off the show, but...
Yeah. We'll get that sorted out.
FYI, listeners, if you want to mail us stuff, we'll soon have a P.O. box. Within the next couple weeks, we'll say.
Yeah, and actually, if you want to mail stuff now, shoot us an email, and I will give you an address to use that I don't want to put on the show, but...
It's your parents', isn't it?
It's my parents', yeah.
Don't forget my soap.
Yeah, I won't. It's a big box of soap there. It's going to last you a while.
I got like 16 bars, yo.
Perfect.
Serious. Anyway, well...
That's our stupid show.
That's our stupid show. This is your stupid host.
Don't drag me into this.
Yeah, well.
Oh, well.
I said it. And I love you all. And don't forget Sex Advice Podcast. notarealjob.com/sexgear.
I still have not listened to the last episode, so I don't know how those sound effects turned out.
Oh my God, the sound effects are so good.
That's your perspective.
They're so erotic.
Ugh, I'm nervous.
It's all oohs and ahs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what sex sounds like. It's all oohs and ahs.
That's what the movies say.
Flicking and sticking. Ugh,
sure.
That's
right. Gross.
That's really gross. I'm sorry.
And on that note, we will talk to you next week.
Sorry, everyone. Bye.
We should always end with an apology.